Scott Allardice, it's great to get to chat to you. I know you've only been in Ireland a couple of months after joining Bohemians. I might just start asking about Monday night first. You got a game in the EA Sports Cup against Cork City. How did you feel about that?
No, I was just glad to get a game. It's been a long time coming. I've not in many minutes. Where most of the other lads as well, most of the team that was out hadn't played an awful lot, so it was important to go and put a marker down and show the gaffer that we're there to play. If you know what I mean, we're not happy just to sit about, and I think we've done that and we made an impression.
Yeah, and it was good. I suppose a little bit of pressure maybe on the players because the club had hit a bit of a patchy few weeks, where the results weren't going your way. So important to get that win under the belt as well.
Yeah, it was massive. But I think the patch that we had, it wasn't all doom and gloom because we had been playing well, if you know what I mean, and we had come away from that run of results thinking we could have won most of the games, if you know what I mean, if you look back at them. So fine margins in football, but it's not been negative around the place. Like, we came away from them results thinking we were unlucky there, and we go again, and Monday we got off on the right foot, and it's on to Finn Harps on Friday.
So I know you were playing in that defensive midfield role. Have you always been a defensive midfielder?
Yeah, growing up I've always played defensive midfielder, and the kind of last 18 months I've played centre half as well, but predominantly I've always been a six. I sit in front of the back four and kind of screen it and go and get on the ball and start attacks and break play up. So I've played a wee bit of centre half, but I see myself as a defensive midfielder.
What is it you like about that role?
I don't know. I need to be disciplined, but also get on the licence to get on the ball and start attacks and go and kind of get on the ball and play out, but also help break it up and help the team. So I like it because I've always been a more disciplined. So it gives the other players the more licence to go and attack higher up, and they know that I'm there and I'll sit for them.
Any players you would have looked up to growing up yourself, you'd like to style yourself on?
Not style myself, but I like watching, obviously when I was younger, Paul Scholes. I might be the ginger hair, but I'm just going to get on the ball and zing and spraying the passes about. And nowadays, like Busquets and that, they're good to watch. It's a far cry from Scottish football, but they're the ones that you watch.
You made your debut, the age was it 18, 19 with
19,
Dundee?
just turned 19. So
what was that like?
That was good. I grew up in Dundee for Dundee United, and it's a big Dundee club, so I know what the club was about. And to kind of come through the academy, every fan likes to see young academy boys doing well. So I came through there. It probably never went the way I liked, but I had great 10 years there from the age of 10 to in January there. So no, it was good.
Yeah, I suppose to get a debut as a teenager, and I know you went on a couple of loan spells with was it East Fife
and Dumbarton.
And Dumbarton, yeah. Like, to get that kind of senior football experience in your teenage years, how do you think that helped you develop?
Massive, especially in Scotland. You learn an awful lot. The games aren't pretty when you go on loan, but you need to learn that. You need to mature and probably go out to games and get bullied a wee bit physically, because it's very physical up in Scotland, and there was some games I really struggled with that, but you need to put yourself in them positions to learn and learn from the struggles, and I think I've done that with the 2 loan spells. And even when I wasn't playing at United, I always said to the managers that I want to be playing. If I was on the bench, then I went on 2 loan spells because I felt game time would enhance my career more, and it's being involved at that age with senior football, I'm so happy I was.
Yeah. So when you started looking further afield, Scotland's got some great clubs, great traditional football obviously in the country. Yeah. So why did you start kind of maybe looking further afield?
It was kind of out of my hands, if I'm honest. I had played for Dundee United this season, just finished in Scotland, and I had went on loan at Dumbarton, and I'd finished my loan at Dumbarton, and it was coming in the second half of the season, and the new gaffer had came in at Dundee United and just says, look, you're not going to play an awful lot. We're going to spend a bit of money in January, so you could move on if it arises. And so I had to look at Ireland because it was a new season starting, and I wasn't prepared to sit around until the summer to get a new club. So it came up that I could come here, and I was delighted to come here, and I've enjoyed it so far, minus I've not really played an awful lot.
Did you get any tips or pointers from Willow Flood? I know you would have played with Willow.
Yeah, I played with Willow, and I'm close pals with him. So he hadn't played in the league. I don't think he had moved when he was early on, but he knew people that had played, and Sean Dillon as well. He was a club captain at Dun United when I broke through, and I just spoke to them enough a wee bit about what the league of Bohs about and that, and they said positive things like it's a league there to go and kind of just showcase what you're about, and they only said positive things about the league.
Yeah. So I know you went on a trial with Bohemians first,
Yeah.
and then you went down to Waterford, played a couple of friendly matches with them.
Yeah.
So what was the deciding factor when you had to choose between the two clubs?
It wasn't just as straightforward, because at the time I was wanting to leave Dun United. I wasn't just wanting to go on another loan. So at Waterford and that, obviously the budget and that, and I was getting leaving Dun United by mutual consent, so it allowed me to come here on a permanent rather than go elsewhere on a loan. So that was basically the main reason. And yeah, I'm happy I've done it.
Yeah. And you would have obviously spoken to Keith Long, the manager, as well before you moved. So how did he kind of sell Bohemians to you? What did he tell you all about it?
Yeah, no, he's a good salesman, to be fair. He's good at that aspect of it. He was just honest, to be fair. He just said it's a club that is kind of building its way back up, and every player that comes is on its way up, if you know what I mean. Everyone wants to achieve something in the game and go on and have the best career. And Bohs, it has its fan base, it has everything that holds dear, its values in that, but also has an opportunity for young players to go and play, and I think that was the main thing. And this season we're so young, but we've shocked a few people, because when you give young players opportunities, they'll surprise you.
Yeah, I know you mentioned earlier, you found it hard to get minutes, so that lack of involvement in the early few weeks of the season, as was the first half of the season, how have you found that? Like, has that been tough to kind of fight your way into the squad? Because I know obviously you're competing with the likes of Conor Levingston, who's had a brilliant start to the season, and there's a couple other guys in there, obviously Keith Buckley and that, so how have you found that kind of that fight to get into the team?
I've loved having to come in every day and be on it, if you know what I mean, from that aspect, but it's been so frustrating. You drive home at night and you're not playing, and you're a million miles away from your family and that, which I'm fine about, but it's tough, like when you're not playing. You've came here to play football and you're not getting the minutes, because at the end of the day, no matter where you are, if you're playing, you're happy to an extent. So when you're not playing, it's tough, but hands down, I've came in every single day and I've worked my absolute maximum, and I've been performing in training. So even when the game the other night, I knew I was going to play well, because I've put it all into training. I've worked extremely hard, and I knew when the opportunity came that I would be at it.
So with the young squad that is here at Bohemians, a lot of people might wonder, third in the table, such a brilliant start to the season, competing against other clubs, maybe who have a bigger budget, have more experienced players. How are Bohs in third place, and how have they kind of maintained that good form throughout the first half of the season? What's so special about the way Keith Long manages the team?
Well, Keith and Trevor, they put values on it from the club. They say it's hard work. It is hard work, and it's been tough. Some of us joke about how saying it's the running club at times, but that's just because we're so. You see it. It's like the other day. We're fit. It's the fittest I've probably felt, and I've not played an awful lot, because everything we do it right to the highest intensity we can, and that comes from Trevor. To be fair, he's mad, but he's brilliant. He doesn't let you switch off. Everything, every wee detail has to be spot on, and that's why we're doing so well, because it gets drummed into us that it's not okay to be off it some days. If you're not feeling it, or something's happened during the day or that, you need to come into training and work your absolute balls off. And we're doing that, and we're getting, we've not got any rewards yet, but that's why we're doing so well. And yeah, we've hit a wee bit of a blip just now, but I know fine well that we'll pick back up and we'll go again in training.
And that's Trevor Crowley, the assistant manager you mentioned. Is that the key thing, do you think, first, before you start talking about tactics or the team you're playing against, is to be as fit as you possibly can?
Yeah, it is, and it's probably took a while for me to get adjusted to. I've had to even adapt my game. When I first came in, I was always more disciplined, but even the other day I was everywhere pressing high up, and they're big on that. If you don't let the opponent settle, they'll not play their own game, and then we can go and show show what we're about. So that's what it comes from, the hard work, but also the good structure to everyone's came in. No one sulks or questions the gaffer or that, because we're all young boys trying to find a way. So that's the only way we know to, is to graft, and everyone from Detzer to Buckle, the older heads, they lead it as well, and they know what the club's about, and the young ones are following.
Yeah, there seems to be a real close team bond. Is that the best you've experienced playing football?
Yeah, it probably is, because we're all at a similar age, if you know what I mean. I know Detzer's a wee bit older, and the same with Buckle, and even Rob and Wardy. But we are so close, everyone. You would go out on the pitch and throw your body on the line for each other. Like, that's the way it is, and fair play to the gaffer and Trevor and all the coaching staff. They've kind of brought that close-knit together, and we would all throw each other's body on the line for each other.
Yeah. Finn Harps this week.
Yeah.
2 1-0 wins against Finn Harps, one up in Ballybuffet and one here at Dalymount Park. They're bottom of the table, but those results would indicate, the scorelines, that they're not an easy team to get a result against.
No, they're not. I remember the first game of the season here. They made it scrappy. That's the game they want, and we need to go and be brave on the ball to make sure that we don't get in a scrap, because that's their strength, if you know what I mean. And fair play to them, they've came up and they're battling away, and they don't look dead and buried at all. Like, we know how tough it'll be. And up there, I wasn't actually in the squad, so that just shows how quick things can change. But even going up there, the boys knew it would be so hard to get a result because of the way the game would be. And they know their strengths and they're good at it, so it's going to be tough for us.
Do you feel as well that it's important, I suppose, especially Shamrock Rovers aren't playing this weekend, that it is really vital to get a result, because, as I said, you've kind of slipped away from the top 2, and if you want to try and maintain that push for maybe a top 3 place, which will be very hard for a club like Bohemians, but if you have to get that 3 points this weekend.
Yeah, these are the games you need to win, and it was the same at Sligo. I know we've never done it, but they're the games, speaking to the boys as well, they always seem to say that when it's the big games, there's no problem turning up and getting a result, but it's the games that we feel we should be going out and winning, that sometimes we slip up on. So we know fine well what we need to go and do, and we need to win these types of games, maybe where it's stuffy and we're expected to maybe go out and get a result, but we know how hard it'll be. But the one thing we could say is we put the work in, and we fully expect to go out and be as confident as we can. And
the other thing that makes the result getting the result a bit harder is the amount of players missing. Like, obviously it's was heartbreaking for Dinny Corcoran last weekend, getting carried off, and obviously he's going to be out for a long while now with that fractured ankle. Derek Pender's suspended as well, so the squad really is kind of it's bare at the moment.
Yeah, it is bare, and obviously we're gutted for Dinny. He's been so good. It's the first time I've seen him play this season, but he's so underrated, even his hold-up play and that, so it's going to be massive. But that's the thing, you see a few boys questioning that we've got injuries and that, but we've got a big squad. You see that the other day, we make 8 changes, we come in and we go and put a performance on, so anyone that comes in believes that they could go and fill the void. Like, so it's more of a chance for other boys to step up and get game time that they've not had. And everyone in the team's confident that whoever comes in will go and put a performance on, and we'll get a result, because it's the depth that we've got and the squad that the gaffer's built.
And has there been talk of that top 3 spot possibly happening at the end of the season?
No, not so far, because we treat every game, I know it's boring to say, but it's true. Like, we just want to go out and win every game, and the minute we start looking beyond that is that's when we'll start getting a dip in results, because we're not focused on the next game. But one thing I would say is, any time we go out, probably because we're so young and we don't know otherwise, but we believe we go and win, and we believe we're better than the opposition, and I think that's the way we should be.
And just to finish then, life in Dublin, how have you found it?
It's good. As I said to you earlier, the Scottish and the Irish, they're all the same. You're just up for a laugh, basically. Work hard and everyone's a winner, but they have a good laugh, and all the boys have been good. I said to Rob and Paddy I'd give them a shout out, so I says I would. And Wardy, he's the one that brings the changing room together. He's mad.
Yeah. Kevin Devaney you're living with, isn't it?
Yeah, Kev, he's a silent assassin. He's a great lad. He's a quiet boy, but he's a good lad.
Yeah, Good stuff. Well, listen, Scott, thanks very much for your time and best of luck this
Man,
weekend.
thank you. Cheers. Thank you.